We behave online in a way we'd never do in real life. Instagram's a great example. You can see a picture of a girl in a bikini, you can like it. Imagine doing that in real life.
I like that.
Dave, give me that aubergine. I'm gonna wave a vegetable or a girl I don't know. We're very preoccupied with ourselves all of a sudden. Look at me, I've got a Fitbit. What a twat.
So I can count my steps.
Sometimes I'll go for a walk and I forget it. I'm distraught. That was a waste of time. It's like I've forgotten my best friend. And what a weird friend that would be, just behind you.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll watch you when you sleep. 5, 6.
We're locked in, man. We're the generation that invented selfies. We're gonna be the dullest grandparents ever.
That's me. That's me. That's me. That's a Calippo. It's hot that day.
The problem is, if we're taking selfies, we can't make memories. Give me memories over selfies any day of the week. Selfies remind us of how we used to look, but memories can just come along and just make you explode with joy. There was a girl in our class, she couldn't get her calculator to work. She was knocking it against a desk, and our teacher went, "Stop it! How would you like it if I banged you against that desk?" Oh, thanks, memory. I love it when that happens. My mum gives me so many of these, man. We were in a post office recently, and a woman who was about 80 pushed in the queue. What I love about my mum is my mum will hear words that I use, and she'll use them even though she doesn't know what they mean. We were in a post office. This woman who's about 80 pushed in, and my mum looked at this 80-year-old woman and went,
bloody nonce.
nonce.
Yeah, nonce. Annoying. Inconsiderate.
I was like, that's not what a nonce is, Mum. It's a paedophile. I've never seen the colour drain from her face quicker. And it became apparent it wasn't the first time she'd used the word nonce in public.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. It doesn't. Shut up, shut up. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God.
Apparently, she'd been down the pub with her friend Pat. She'd had 2 glasses of wine, and Pat went,
"Do you want one more?" And Mum went, "I better not, Pat. I'll turn into a right nonce."
Sometimes these memories appear and they remind you of a defining moment in your life. I remember when I was 18, my brother had a really bad epileptic fit. We found him on the floor. He was blue. We were terrified. We thought he was going to die. We got him to the hospital and he was okay. 2 days later, he came back and he's full of bravado, don't give a shit. He's all right. Papa Smurf back in the house. But I knew it was bravado, because later that night he knocked on my door. He's like, "You all right, Russ? Do you mind if I sleep with you tonight?" Do you know what I mean? It's boring, isn't it, going to bed? Just sleep in the same room. And he put his leg on me. I was like, okay, fine. You know, he's had a tough couple of days. I can live with that. This went on for a year. Slept with his leg on me. There's an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old. We slept together. And it was only recently that I was like, what was all that about? And my brother's like, well, you know, I was afraid to go to sleep in case I woke up dead. I didn't want to burden you with that, you know what I mean? So just slept with you. Remember I used to put my leg on you? If I started shaking and that, I thought, yeah, you'll wake up and I'll be all right. And he didn't talk about it. Imagine holding on to that for a year. I was like, what made you finally stop sleeping with me? And he looked at me and went, well, I looked down one morning, you were fingering your own arsehole. I made my peace with God that day. I thought, I can go to hell because I've seen it. You're having a real go on yourself, Russ, do you know that? You want to wear boxing gloves. One of my favourite memories ever, and you'll all have had a moment like this. I was at a funeral. You know that feeling when someone is no more and their memory soars? I was thinking about my Uncle Tim. It was his funeral, and Tim was brilliant. My family are the reason I've got a lazy eye. I'd be at parties when I was 5. There was so much madness going on. It's like my eyes were like,
We're going to have to split up.
And Tim was the best. I remember when I was 5, he came up to me at a party and just went,
Meh.
And walked away.
The following year, he saw me again.
Meh.
And off he went.
Now, by the time I was 8, I knew what to expect. So I went up to him at a party and went,
Meh.
And off I popped.
and a game began. A game we never understood. A game we never discussed. A game that went on for 35 years. He once FaceTimed me at 2 in the morning. I went, "You right, Tim?"
Meh.
And I was laughing and I was crying at this beautiful piece of silly string that connected us through the years. And I told my little brother about it, and this is where it got special. Because my brother's like, "You're joking, aren't you?" "You are joking." It turns out, every time Tim saw Daniel, he used to go, "Woo!" Every time he saw my cousin Lee, he went, "Mama." He had a different move for every one of us. I've got 40 cousins. This mama's exhausted. But what a legacy to leave behind. Whenever you have the opportunity to throw silly into the world, do it. Life is a battle and silly is a rest. I'm already trying to be more like my Uncle Tim whenever I get the opportunity. Just be daft, just be weird. I've taught my nephews, they're 7. Every time they see mum, they've got to go, "Ooh." "You been down the gym, girl?" Because I know she likes it.
Thanks for noticing, Wes.